Okay, so Overwatch the game and the community itself are in absolute chaos right now. And it's because of the patch that Blizzard decided to come out with where they made every single tank absolutely unkillable. And the problem with this patch isn't exactly what people think. It isn't the fact that tanks are going to be lobby admins now, or the fact that supports are going to be literally playing Dead by Daylight. The problem is that they have officially stomped, I think, the community's hope for 5v5. And what this is, or at least who this is coming from, is myself, as I have never played Overwatch 1. I have only played Overwatch 2. I have no nostalgia for 6v6. And to be quite honest with you, I never understood the 6v6 argument because of that. I've been blessed with just 5v5. I think the game is great in 5v5. A lot of people will disagree with that. But the point that I'm going to make here is that I think Blizzard shot themselves in the foot with this update. Okay, because it is going to make the game so unbalanced. Unless tomorrow, or unless really quickly, they go back and they revert almost all of these changes, except for I think the 10% on tanks. I think the half DPS passive on tanks was a good change, was a great change. But unless they go back and pretty much revert almost all of what they did to buff the tanks, I think 5v5 is almost absolutely cooked. And I think that the argument for 5v5 is cooked as well. And like I said, I'm pretty much a 5v5er. I am not a 6v6 denier, but I am not under the assumption that 5v5 failed. I think 5v5 revived the game. I think 5v5 is the reason we have most of the players that Overwatch has now. I know a lot of people like to think that it's just Overwatch 1ers. No, a lot of us are Overwatch 2ers only. We're just not as loud out there because we haven't experienced the golden age of Overwatch like a lot of you guys have. But what I will say is, because of this patch, the balance team, the devs, or just Blizzard higher-ups have absolutely, you could say, put a muzzle on themselves, okay? They have absolutely ruined any sort of nuance to the argument of 5v5 or 6v6 solely because this is exactly what every 6v6er has been saying. That the only way that 5v5 works is if the tanks are unkillable monsters. And I agree with that to an extent now. And the main reason I say to an extent is because I believe that 5v5 could have been balanceable. Could have been balanceable, or just even just one tank could have been balanceable. But clearly, the devs themselves are saying that they don't know how to do this. And the reason I think that it was balanceable is mostly from the fact that a lot of the problems I think 5v5 has, or at least in terms of the community has with 5v5, is that a lot of the community just doesn't like the idea of what a tank is, right? Like, doesn't like tanking in general. They don't want to be taking space. They just want to be giant DPS and killing things. Now, that's neither here nor there for this argument, because that literally doesn't matter anymore, as I've said, because Blizzard just does not know what to do anyway. So the 6v6 argument still stands, and that's that 5v5 argument that I just had there is pretty much null and void after this patch. It just doesn't matter. And so, to sum up what I'm trying to say here is, good job, Blizzard. Good job. You have officially terminated the argument that any sort of 5v5 enjoyer has, right? You have completely ruined the discourse on this. Because now any 6v6er can say, not only are you guys willing to do drastic changes, right? Not only are these changes so drastic, but they're just so obviously misguided that it almost doesn't matter. That they can literally just say they don't know how to do it in 5v5 anyway, so what does it matter? And they're right. They'll be right when they say that. And I think it's a real bummer. But, you know, whether the game goes to 5v5 or 6v6, I'm still going to play it. I love Overwatch, so if you love Overwatch, I would like it if you could maybe give me a follow, give me a like, and I'll see you in the next one, as more should be coming.